I be Naija boy. I get responsibility. They won't sign me for Saudi. They want to give me 300,000 per week. You can't come say you be Barca. You can't talk say make I pay na 50,000 you get to.
I am scared of Mbemo to Rashford.
Players with letter B, that their name starts with letter B.
Bukayo
Bizuma,
Balotelli,
Bukayo Saka,
Balak,
Bayu.
Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the podcast Discuss Football with Kenny. Last week, a lot of things happened. They said some kind of people are overrated, and it's caused a lot of upsets online. Let me just put it that way. A lot of upsets. I personally say Gabriel Jesus is overrated. Last night, my DM was full. Last night, people were like, "Nobody guy when he talks in overrated. They score like this. Wait till I do." So
I want beg my fans. If I don't offend you now, Biko, Mona, forgive me.
I'm gonna ask my beg like this.
You get case. You even get case with Arsenal.
Now ask my beg like this. Now
I don't see Arsenal beating
Thank God. The Man U and Chelsea were insults. All those Man U and Chelsea were insults. None of them are doing
like
well.
You did right.
None of them are doing well. All those guys are performing very poor. So I am very right at what I'm saying.
You may be the only right man here.
So the rest of you might be wrong. But me, I'm very 100% sure that Man U and Chelsea, they still have a lot of work to do. They are still a small team. Although Man U is a very big team that is multimedia and media publicity, but comes to football right now, they've lost it all. They don't know what they are doing.
They are shit. So on this episode of the podcast, we're going to be touching a lot of topics. There was a standout game during the weekend. The Chelsea versus Arsenal game. A lot of talking points in that particular wonderful game. And there is this Barcelona wonderkid. Wow. We'll talk about that guy. The guy
my guy.
The guy that rose from 44k to over 800,000 followers in the space of a night.
in the space of 24 hours.
That's amazing.
We'll talk about the guy, and Liverpool are back to winning ways in the Merseyside derby as well. Spurs are flying. Tottenham, hey, the first time in injury. We need to talk about that Tottenham. We'll talk about them. We'll talk about there is this comparison going on at the moment. Darwin Núñez and Erling Haaland. I think that's a little bit.
That's a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer, bro. Erling Haaland right now is. If I'm not exaggerating it, Erling Haaland right now is the best striker
in the world right now.
I know right now.
Yes.
At this century, he's the best striker.
How will you compare a struggling Darwin Núñez to a world class Erling Haaland?
You understand? He's more than a world class. He's getting there.
We'll get back to that, and of course, my friends here will give me their underrated footballers in the world, and we'll all discuss about those underrated footballers. Someone we think might be underrated, might be overrated to me. So we'll discuss about that, and of course, our podcast game, as you used to enjoy it, we'll play the podcast game. My name is Kenny. Before I forget to do that, and I'm live here with. Let's start with
Prosper Westman
and
Eloquent.
I go by the name Heytrip.
So we are all here. We all witnessed the game on Saturday, Chelsea and Arsenal. My thought was that Arsenal would destroy Chelsea. This is so for that game. My mind caught. Chelsea caught my mind. Me personally, I was of the opinion that okay, this game, it's a no-brainer. Chelsea are struggling at the moment. Arsenal will catch them off guard. Arsenal have been doing very well against them in recent time, especially going to Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked.
You know, actually, I've been looking for an avenue to actually say my mind about this Chelsea Arsenal game. You know, with what happened this last weekend, I can come into conclusion that Chelsea are really terrified. And I believe strongly, and I have that at the back of my mind, no matter how well you can analyze this game of football, you know, you guys are leading at, that was like 2-0.
2-0.
And, you know, Arsenal actually came back. You know, and can we say they are, we can't say they are not professional enough because actually they are all professionals.
Yeah.
But can we say the team mentality is downgrading, or is degrading? Because with what happened on the last weekend, I was thinking that Chelsea already sealed the victory.
Yes.
So it was a big slap. Actually, I'm not a big fan of Arsenal. I'm so pained for real. I'm so pained because that should have been the beginning of Chelsea's season.
Yes, I would have bantered Prosper.
So you felt that they shouldn't have thrown the 2 lead away. They
Actually, they bottled
for no reason.
They bottled it.
For no reason.
And there's this thing I was thinking about Chelsea Arsenal. You see, Chelsea are getting their reading, but I don't think they've gotten their work right. They still need to get these things done right because with the look of things, Pochettino knows what he is doing. Although Arsenal lost the game on the first half until they got themselves back in the second half. But had it been Chelsea stood their ground, they would have won that game. Something I just see is that these guys are just coming up. It's not that I'm not saying coming up. If you look at the last season, most of the people that played at Chelsea last season or last 2 seasons are not the ones playing now.
Okay.
So I think they are not yet the compatibility in their games is not yet okay. It's not yet they are not compatible yet. Okay. And maybe that is why they are trying to struggle to win. But trust me, this Pochettino of Chelsea, and with what I saw Chelsea play in the first half, they held Arsenal. They played Arsenal hands down. Arsenal never knew what to do. I watched the game, but you see, Chelsea lost the game mentality. Although complacency was part of it because they felt they won the game.
They won
already.
the match.
100%. Not knowing that
100%.
Arsenal. These people who have this right now, Arsenal are contender of the league. They believe we are winners. They have the spirit of a winner. They had to fight. Whereby Chelsea, who is just coming up trying to impress their people, thought they won it all and lost the game woefully. So let's not lie. Arsenal, what Arsenal just did is the spirit of a champion.
Yes.
And what Chelsea did is the spirit of a small team. They still need to get themselves right.
Now going to that game,
Okay.
Other games, when Arsenal get game ahead, I have this confidence in me. If you've been following this show for a long time now, I've always said it that Chelsea are statistically they're performing, but their major issue has been at the final third. That Saturday morning, I was just telling my guy, this game I not get confident about the game, but if we get a draw there, I might be happy. Now going into the game, first half, Pochettino came with something different than what he has been doing before. I don't know if you pay close attention. He played a 4-4-2. Okay. Now, this was Caicedo, Enzo. This is Zinchenko. He used Sterling on Zinchenko and used Modric on Ben White. Now, he had a box midfield of Kopama and Gallagher. Now, he used Modric pressing on Ben White. And now, this is where Gallagher excels. And if you watch episode 2, I see they talk and Pochettino, they owe me money. When I explained you should play Gallagher.
You said it.
Yeah, he used this press. It's here, destabilize our build-up. Now, when he destabilized our build-up, there were so many chaos behind it. We were not having that stability to build up and all of that. And then the lack of defensive ability of Zinchenko also was one other major reason Sterling had to explore. When he drifted wide into this to form this inverted fullback, he has to explore this space and all of that. That was something unexpected. You get when I noticed that within the first 5 minutes, I told my guy if we see game and all of that, then the Saliba handball occurred, and then the next thing when Saliba scored, I told there was this thing in my head of at least we go start to play now because we reply when Arsenal scored. I expected us to reply, but then they neutralized our playing this thing and all of that. And then their defensive third also, there was this triangle of Enzo, Cucurella and Chilwell trying to cover Bukayo Saka. I don't know if
they got it right.
Cucurella was spot on. Cucurella was spot on, especially that first half.
Yes, this was Cucurella, this was Cowell, and this was Enzo. Yeah, this was Saka here. It was in between this triangle and also Odegaard in here. So we were outnumbered at that right position and all of that. Pochettino got everything right. He was spot on for that game. I don't know if you get it. He was spot on. And then going into the second half, I was like, okay, this is it. The second half would play better. And coming out, consider the second goal, I was just like, oh my God. Until the Sanchez blunder. Many people would say it's a fluke and all of that, but there are many midfielders in that position whose team won't score that goal from there. That goal from Declan Rice.
Okay, that
goal is a world class goal.
It's a world class goal. And talking about that Declan Rice goal, we now have managers trying to play out from the back. It's like the new trend in football.
That's the new trend.
And
Football.
It's
costing these goalkeepers right now. Sometimes goalkeepers, they are caught in a no man's land.
Yes.
Sometimes they look stupid from goal kicks. So don't you think that's kind of?
I can't fault. Sorry to cut you short. That play, I can't fault it fully on Sanchez, because if you watch the play, this was Sanchez. Enzo was between this place to collect the ball, to receive the ball. He gobbed himself. That was the issue. He gobbed himself. But you know this thing of fan favorites. Fan favorite, nobody will slander you. The whole blame went on Sanchez. The blame was 50-50 on Enzo and Sanchez. Because if Sanchez had position, and if Enzo was in his right place or tracked the ball properly, he would have won the ball from here and they continued their build up. When Declan Rice got that 2-1, and I just tapped my friend, I said, this game not draw. Okay, this was what brought us back into the game.
As a matter of fact, when Declan Rice scored that goal, we were shouting game on, game on. Because it was glaring, because Chelsea lost it at that second half. That second half, they lost it off. Mentally, they lost it.
I appreciate Arsenal mental resilience. If Arteta said something earlier this season, that one thing they will try to do is, if you can't lose, if you don't win, don't lose. I don't know if you get that is the situation. And I told somebody we don't deserve that winning. Arsenal don't deserve that.
Yes, Chelsea played.
We don't deserve even that draw.
Those are kind of ugly points to pick on the
Those are kind
that
of
shows the kind of mentality Chelsea has.
It gives you this Atletico
very low mentality. Very shambled mentality.
Me, I felt we don't deserve that draw because Chelsea deserves better for what they.
If I was to be a Chelsea fan, I would be so disappointed.
I would be very disappointed. Honestly.
Okay, like that's in that I was saying. These goalkeepers, they are looking stupid. Someone should really come out for them. You know, back in those days, we have this safe passing. If you are a goalkeeper, you want to do it safe, you pass to your fullback. So that is very safe.
Yes.
But right now, goalkeepers are now tasked to locate their pivots in the midfield when they have the ball most of the time. Definitely there is a press on the pivots.
Yes.
Most time, these goalkeepers, they are caught in a low man's land. Sometimes they give the wrong pass. Sometimes the pivot is not always rightly positioned. Now we've had a case of Onana and Casemiro this season that turned to a penalty. We've had a case of Sanchez this season as well. That
Raya severally also.
So this thing is looking like a trend among goalkeepers. Is it that managers now have to think that, okay, let's find a way that we can balance this thing? We don't have to necessarily play through the middle every time. Goalkeepers can actually pick their spot and go to the fullback sometimes. Use their width sometimes when there is chaos in the midfield, because teams are not targeting anybody playing out from the back. They will target your midfield and press your pivot.
Thank you, DFK. With my own point of view, if we are talking about the tactical way, we should always talk about the layman ways also, because not everybody that watches football deals with the tactical aspect of football.
That's right.
So let me just put it in a layman's way. See, every day football is revolving. So I believe, I'm trying to say it as from a layman point of view. You understand? I believe when things are revolving, you are getting paid for it. You are training every day for it, and you can see this thing for yourself. So I don't see a point of you as a goalkeeper not adapting to the new situation. You understand? If someone else can do it, for you to prove you're a world class, you should be able to do it.
Yes.
You understand? So if your manager says, okay, this is what I want from you, there's nothing bad in this. You should just adapt. This is a new system. This is what is revolving. The best of the best team in the country, this is what they are dealing with, and it's really working out for them. And if this is working out for everyone, why don't we deal with this? So in the layman point of view, bro, I don't think there's nothing difficult in this. You are getting paid, you are getting trained. It's all about instruction. But what about ability? What about your ability?
Alisson Becker, who is a goalkeeper, made a statement recently that their basic work is shot stopping. Ball playing is an extra attribute. Now,
Alisson Becker has more pass accuracy than other low mentality goalkeepers.
It takes time to adapt.
Even though he makes mistakes, he makes the right choices.
I understand your point of view from the layman perspective. Now let's bring it to the tactical part of this thing. Every player has their profile. I don't know if you get. my profile might be different from you. The same thing applies to goalkeeper. That was one reason De Gea was chased out of United, Bernard Leno out of Arsenal, Claudio Bravo out of Man City. I don't know if you get. These are not bad goalkeepers. You get. They can give you their 70-50% every game, but coaches want to evolve. The game is evolving, and when you don't evolve with the game, you stay back. That's the thing affecting Jose Mourinho. Probably one day we'll get back to that situation. Now, the thing is this: adaptability takes time. And no manager in the world has that luxury of time to start waiting for you to adapt to the style of play.
That might cost me my job.
Yeah, that might cost me
I'm not going to wait.
I don't know if you get. So trying to fix
any new error,
that is my family one job. I feel like
you're losing your job.
That most times we forget the basic duty of those positions. I don't know if you get. Most times you'll be having conversation with someone and they will tell you, this one get go past this one. Defensive midfielder, I'm going to defensive midfielder. This one get go past this one, and this one better pass and all of that. That is one of the reasons why Toni Kroos is not rated in this generation.
Just how they're comparing Bellingham to Pedri. I tell those people that Bellingham is playing more like a first 9 or a 10. More like a 10. And Pedri is playing more like a 8.
If it's not in your profile, as a goalkeeper, you can never be that person.
You can't force
it. Now, Brighton uses 2 goalkeepers this season. One of them goes long. One of them is good with the short passes. I don't know if you get. Now, depends on the opponent they play. If it requires a game where we have to go long, they change to the previous goalkeeper. If it requires, I feel that is something goalkeepers, the coaches now needs to adapt to. Okay, let's use the keepers to our strength. Okay, we have two goalkeepers. Okay, today let's use the case of Man City for example. If Anderson is good at going long, Ortega is good at going short. If it's a game we require Ortega to go short, we use him. If it's a game that requires this guy to go long, we use him because the thing is this: goalkeeper is one of the most difficult job in football.
Very
when the team wins, nobody gives you your accolade. But once the team lose or in a bad space, you are in soup. I don't know if you get. So I feel like it goes down to the coaches. Get 2 goalkeepers that fits what you want to play. If this one can go short, let the other one go long. So you don't get that commotion in your build-up and all of that. So that's it.
The problem is, I won't lie. Why will other coaches be doing whatever their partner, their colleague is doing? The fact is, if your colleague is playing from the back, you can actually bring out your own tactics and start playing from whichever
sorry, DFK, please, sorry.
Whichever perspective you like.
Bro, I want you to understand something.
Yes.
You are a manager.
Yes.
And your teams are playing good. You are a manager, and the 3 of you are using almost the same tactics. I'm also a manager. I'm using the old tactics. Do you expect me to stay at the old tactics?
No.
I'm not joining you guys.
I will join you guys.
I want to ask you, why do you think
I have to join you guys and start playing like that
over the years?
Let me tell you. Jose Mourinho has been stagnant all because he didn't develop his tactics.
Yes.
No. I did mean even if he does not want to evolve, at least there's a way he can develop his tactics that he wouldn't be playing. He wouldn't be playing.
Now you see one thing why Guardiola is at the top is this: Guardiola has made statements. He learns from every manager. I don't know if he plays, no matter how small your team is, if he plays Devin County today and he learns new thing from you, he tries to implement it to his team. He learns new thing from you. That is why he has been on top of there. I don't know if you get. Unlike the likes of Jose Mourinho, he believes in that his pragmatism, ugly football, that art football, and all of that. Football has evolved past that stage. I don't know if you get.
And the thing is, let me exemplify something on the board. These managers now, let's assume that you come across. Let's assume this is your back line and you have a goalkeeper here. So you come across teams that play with the high press. Most of the time, some teams that come with the high press. Definitely, if you have a goalkeeper that can go long, you can locate your striker.
Yes,
exactly. Onana is one.
Perfect example. Yes.
And David Raya. They have someone tall here who can be the focal point. And most of these teams, some teams are not passive and they won't come. They will not come. Definitely, you have.
They won't come for the bait.
No matter where you try. Likes of Cadiz.
Cadiz. No matter how you try, they're not coming out.
So you can use one of your defenders to have a BSPM man in the midfield. Then your goalkeeper, who is good at ball playing,
will be the plus one.
They will definitely come out. So that's why most teams now really want to have that goalkeeper who has everything in his locker.
Good. But I want to make an example. We were talking about Mourinho not developing in his football. Let's say Jurgen Klopp didn't evolve. He developed his tactics.
Okay.
He got his developments right.
Okay.
The Jurgen Klopp is this kind of gang pressing monster, and he didn't change the style. What he did is adding some little spices, to make that style sweet,
like
and
some modern day footballers
to make it suitable to win.
But the thing is,
he's slowly leaving the pressing.
Jurgen has really Jurgen of 2015.
He's not
with
Jurgen
he's
of
just
now.
Jurgen of now.
He evolved.
Now,
Let me tell you.
The blueprint is still there.
No, the thing
Yes,
is,
it's still there.
The blueprint is still there. They're still Genge. As a matter of fact, we were debating this thing last time when we were saying something that in England, the only person who can beat Man City and the person I can vouch that will beat Man City hands down is Liverpool. All because Man City is this kind of team. If you press them too much, they won't know what to do. They will get destabilized and disorganized.
You shouldn't give them any breathing space.
But Liverpool is this kind of team, especially their coach. What he bestowed in them is, guys, don't get tired. You guys keep working. And Man City hates you working and pressing them too hard. They will definitely get disorganized. In fact, mentally they will lose the game. And that's why Liverpool is having upper hand to Liverpool to Man City.
And you see,
that is head to head though. I'm not talking about in the league.
The thing is, most of these top managers, most of these elite managers, they are always doing things that they are always adding. Like Prosper said, they will pick out something from your game and they will add it to their game. When a Jurgen Klopp arrived in England, it was this more of let's play this heavy metal football. Let's be a fast transition team. Let's hit them on the break.
As time goes by,
now
started adding control to it.
Possession. Yes. Now a Jurgen Klopp is someone who can actually dominate you for 70 minutes. He can dominate you for 70 minutes now, and then you see have that element of fast transition in his football.
Sure.
He can still break from like 15 seconds break from the defensive third into the final third. They can still do that at the moment, and there is this element of a Sean Dyche who is always going long from the back to the front. There is an element of that in the Jurgen Klopp's game. So most of these managers, they pick from here,
they learn from each other. Now let's go flashback to Arsenal Liverpool at Emirates last season, where Arteta used 4 centre backs. For people who don't know, Tomiyasu is not a fullback; he's a proper centre back.
Yes.
You get. After that game, Guardiola adapts to using 4 centre backs.
Yes.
He made a statement that he needed defenders who can defend 1v1 and control transition. I don't know if you get. That is them learning from
each
themselves.
other.
I don't know if you get. Now, coming to Klopp, when Klopp came, the 2019 Liverpool that won the league was an heavy mental football side.
I
don't know if you get. They had heavy mental. Going forward, Klopp understood that the league last season was getting to a place where you need to overload your midfield.
Control. What was happening is we shouldn't berate his impact in the team last season. What happened is the catastrophe that happened to Liverpool is enough for them to go through that situation.
And he learned from it.
But right now, let's get this straight. When Jurgen Klopp wanted to go to the market to sign defenders, he signed physically fit midfielders and defenders. Because he wanted that blueprint of Genge press to still be there. Even though if he's playing positional football, that is because he just added that sauce. But the blueprint of Genge press, you can't play for Liverpool. And they brought Otto.
Most of your players have asthma. So they use that asthma drugs to enhance their performance.
They brought Otto to the team. Otto is this kind of guy. When he was playing at Barca, he's a great passer. He's a great passer, but slow.
A bit passive.
Very slow.
Very slow.
Very slow. But when he came to Liverpool, he sat at the bench for a long time. See, I guess maybe they've loaned him out now. Or is he still at Liverpool?
He came on loan.
He don't play any Premier League match.
He had injury.
He don't play any Premier League match.
So you see, if you're not physically fit to withstand that Genge press tactics, you cannot play with Jurgen Klopp. And Jurgen Klopp cannot, because of you, one player who is not fit enough to fit in my style. Then you change his tactics.
Because the fans are loving the style.
That blueprint of Genge press is definitely going to be there.
They are loving the style.
Misconception.
I'm trying to bring a point.
There's difference between a style of play and the tactics. I don't know if you get.
Yes.
That style of play is there.
Liverpool's identity has been Genge pressing.
Intensity.
I don't know if you get. Arsenal's identity has been beautiful football since the time of Wenger.
Yes.
Wenger brought it to
Tiki-taka,
Yeah.
more
I don't know
like
if you get
tiki-taka.
Man United's identity has been
Fast transition.
Fast
transition.
I don't know if you get
transition. Direct.
Ferguson, long
Direct.
ball and
Direct-
all that.
direct football.
That is their style of play, not their tactics. What you do on the pitch, where you position players, how you control game and all of
That
that.
is the coach
That is the
tactics.
tactical part of this.
Like Barcelona-
And this is
Barcelona
where
is known for
many
tiki-taka.
players.
Tiki-taka.
Yes. And this
And
is
the
where many
blueprint is
coaches
still there.
evolve.
Yes, it's
It's
still there.
Even
And
if
yes,
even if service, even if service
This is where-
adding more pressure.
Even when
for the-
Setien was there, the
It's
blueprint
still
is
tiki-taka.
still there.
The
Only-
blueprint.
yes.
I'm talking about that Savi. There is this young boy that came on against Bilbao.
Magui.
Maguire.
Yes.
Maguire.
Magui. No, this one is better than Maguire. This one is better than Maguire.
Spanish Maguire.
When the boy scored,
Is-
when the boy scored, I can't say now every day back at the big small boys.
you know-
Now boys can't be.
When I actually watched the match the last weekend. Magui netting the game within 23 seconds is an absolute beauty.
Yes.
It's every young player's dream.
When you see
on your debut,
yes,
23
when you see
seconds after
when you
your debut, that's fine.
when you see a player like that, what I believe is that they are uncommon players. You understand? And you just have to.
Let me remind you. I have one in my team. Let me remind you. When Nketiah, sorry to cut you. When Nketiah came to
Yes.
Arsenal, his first debut, his first touch was on goal. We were losing the game to Norwich.
Was it 23 seconds?
His first touch of the game from corner.
Was it 23 seconds?
Less than.
I know, like Arsenal. Was it 23 seconds?
Less than.
Are you sure?
Was it 23?
Them one throw-
It's not
wait,
less than.
It's less than.
Now, was it 23 seconds?
Less than.
It's-
Wait,
because
let me
this guy
explain.
actually
This guy has the record of the
He
fastest
has
in La Liga.
the
That's
fastest,
La Liga.
fastest in La Liga.
I'm talking about. There was a corner you get. Then I brought out an attacker and brought in Nketiah. That was his debut. As the cross, Baba scored. Then again, he scored the winning goal for the match and celebrated. See today, that potential what we see that time. Now swear, Olori.
But in case
He's one of the best
Baba,
strikers.
see, Baba,
Best
please,
strikers.
please, point of correction. See,
Yeah.
let me tell you something.
Where I'm going to
A
is this.
product coming from Arsenal. You see, you
It's
can't
not
compare
coming from
it. Okay, let me say, see, bro, wherever you see any product coming from La Masia, I just want you to remove your cap and give them some respect.
Where is
Bro,
Alena?
La Masia,
Where's Carlos Alena?
Alena tried to.
no,
Alena tried before he
What
went.
I'm trying to listen.
Before Alena went
Listen to
to
my
the
point.
bridge. Not right now.
He's a young player.
Yes.
I'm not disputing how
Yes.
good he is, but with these young players these days, you never can.
You never can tell because
football career is not always
Chelsea fans will remember this.
I am not
Charlie
going to-
Musonda Junior
Yeah.
against Arsenal. Conte, I will never forget that game. He came on and took everybody by storm, and we were like, "This is him."
I am
But then again,
I am not going to overrate. I am not going to overrate or exaggerate Magui. You understand? But you see, actually, that the way we were playing, the ball was so annoying. It pissed me off. We were not in the game. Maybe because of the injury crisis. Do you know why we value this guy so much? You know why we value him so much? You know why we are talking about him?
He's
every
one
time?
of your own.
No, not just one of our own. You know, Madrid is leading us on the table with like 4 points. I didn't mean we lost that much. Even our
So definitely, you guys are not just you are not celebrating.
We are not
that
just
point.
celebrating
You are
it.
not celebrating that, but you are only celebrating
No,
that
it's
you
something
won.
iconic.
It is something iconic.
no,
You
it
got
is
the
something
3
iconic.
points.
Don't get
Because-
them wrong.
no.
This is every young player's
No,
dream.
it is
Yes,
something.
it is, but-
iconic.
Calling to
yes.
seal the win.
You know,
for
don't
your team.
get
No,
what I'm saying.
Everybody wants to be in that position.
Let me bring this
Prosper,
up.
you know what team?
Let me-
You know what
let me
they
end.
pay me for their two now? They talk about this guy.
No,
like
no,
say,
I'm not
apart-
hyping him.
Apart from saying the
That's why I
guy,
came in with that statement.
apart
I
from
don't
saying the
know
guy
if
scored that day, he was only
I-
lucky to be at the right place at the right time.
That is the first time of playing.
Bro, should I?
The guy don't do anything.
No, I know, but hyping him.
Should I-
Let me get to
Should
the
I
point.
analyze this goal for you?
Let me get to the point.
You know, the guy came in.
When we
You know,
needed the goal,
You know,
at
the guy
79 minutes.
Baba, the guy came in. You know, the guy's movement was spot on.
Yes,
Actually,
and
like
even
a-
scored a crucial
Jeff,
goal.
please,
Come on,
please,
come
can you-
on.
please, can you give me a little
Just
seconds?
anybody will
Can you
move
give me
like
a little
that.
seconds.
And also,
Baba,
party will
Baba,
move like
can you
that,
give me
bro.
seconds? The
Come
guy-
on.
Baba, the guy came in.
Don't tell us that.
Baba, the guy came in.
Wait, I want-
Baba, the
I
guy
want
came
you
in. The guy actually bent the run so perfectly. You
And
know, the first touch.
Baba,
was
now
spot
today
on.
that they bend
Baba,
run.
Baba, the first
Now today
touch.
that they bend
Baba,
run.
the first touch was spot on, just
Bro,
like
come on,
Mr.
it's-
Babato's fire. You know, bro,
You don't go far.
I'm being serious.
You go far.
No, he's not lying.
You are comparing Spanish Maguire to
the first one was spot on. And for you to for a 17-year-old boy to have that confidence against Una Simon, you understand? I want you to know that that's a consistent years of hard
in a
work.
crucial time.
And that's a consistent years of hard work.
And secondly, he scored this goal in a crucial time.
His hard work actually paid off.
Bro,
You see why he's doing Barca?
That's a top-notch
bro,
goal.
I will put up the debate for you that goal is not the cleanness of the strikes. It was just Unai Simon who did. Unai Simon should have done better in that position. Unai Simon should have done better.
The guy.
No matter how well Unai Simon tried, he's never going to save that ball.
That boy is
No matter how well he
that
tries.
I'm telling you that
because actually Unai Simon didn't
I don't know if it's
going
gonna be.
That's why you're talking.
For a 16-year-old boy, that was a dream come true.
A dream come true.
I used that in the title race as a 16-year-old boy. He came from the bench, 23 seconds. You put your team up there and all of that. That is a dream come true.
God bless you.
I want to remind you and let it be out there. 6 months from now, we go ask Nato about that boy. And if you can't,
No,
if you can't
We'll be here.
I'll remind you of Bebeto.
I am not
of Maguire Bebeto.
Baba, listen, I am not overrating him. But what I'm saying is,
I said that.
You said
what I'm saying is,
you said his first touch.
top notch.
That was Babato.
For a 16-year-old boy,
It's
that
calm.
level of composure and
It's
all
calm,
of that.
it's composed.
It's
It's
a
on
dream
point.
come true.
Finishing.
But my own is
Good bending.
You know why that guy is always in my heart.
accountability.
You know why he's always in my heart? It's because of that time he scored the goal.
God
It was
bless
a crucial
you.
goal. I didn't mean he
God
never
bless
scored
you.
that goal.
God bless
we
you.
wouldn't have any goal in that
Yes.
match, and we would have been 4. Is it just 4 points? We would have been 4 points behind Madrid, and Madrid is going to win the next match. Then we would have been 7 points behind them.
injury
this week,
I watched the game against Bilbao. I think if not for the guy that came on, Barcelona were not that convincing. I've been watching the past 2-3 games now. Barcelona has struggled to create chances.
Crisis.
Now he's admitting. If you could remember, after we shoot episode 2 when we were having the backstage argument, when I said
That was
something,
when injuries struck us.
for the quality Barca possesses,
They are not playing.
No,
They are underperforming. They are performing below
I
par.
won't lie about
In
that.
terms of squad, I can put it out there and defend it anywhere.
we
Barca
have-
has the best
we
one.
have- we
In
have-
fact, the
we
best
have-
squad in
Bro,
Europe.
okay, right now, do you believe?
You can't expect anything less.
Do you
Because of the
believe-
injury crisis?
Do you believe
You can't expect
the
anything
Champions
less.
League, the Champions
But I
League
want
on
you to know that
Wednesday,
for Maguire to come in that other day, it was because of the injury crisis.
Do you believe
Even
the
if
Champions
there was
League?
not to be injury
Do
crisis,
you know
there
the
would never be
Champions
someone
League
like
on
Maguire.
Wednesday, Barca
That day.
versus Shakhtar Donetsk?
You know,
we are losing 7
we have
players.
we have a lot of players that are
Seven
that are on
first
the
11 of our
bench
players
due to injuries.
Yes, 7.
And
Yes.
they are here judging Chelsea, who has over a full first 11 outside.
But
For underperforming.
not most of their players. Not most of their players.
Most of their players
Most of their
But their players will get injured. Not be vital players.
Not even. That's what I'm saying. Not
Now,
most of their.
let's
not be vital players.
As Man
Likes of
United,
disaster.
Luke Shaw is out.
Okay.
Lisandro Martinez is out. Varane was out. He just came back for the last game.
Malaysia is still
out. Wan-Bissaka is out. I don't know if you get Casemiro is out.
Their achievement for this season. Tell me.
Waiting. Those ones know their achievement.
They've just won 3 matches. They've just won 3 or 4 matches in 12 games.
So I don't know if
we have not lost any match.
For me, I still stand by that thing of for the quality Barca possesses. They are underperforming. Because many of your games this season have been come back. Even when those qualities.
At the beginning of the season, we were winning 5-0.
It's normal.
Baba, those qualities. I watched the game against Milan.
Westman. At the beginning of the season, we were winning 5-0, 4-0s. It's when this injury crisis struck us. That's when we were underperforming. No?
You guys haven't. How many games have you won?
We won our first game. Our first game.
Except Victoria Pleasant that you guys played in the Champions League.
No. Recently, I'm talking about recently. We won. I think Betis or which team? We won them 5-2. I be 5-1 or 5-0. Then we won these other people. We have not lost any game. As a matter of fact,
we are not saying you lost.
We only drew just 3.
The point is,
can you believe that?
We are not saying you lost.
We drew just 3 games.
Just 3 games.
Just 3 games, and they are comparing us to.
Okay, they don't. They don't beat Royal Antwerp.
5-0. You mean Celta 3-2?
3-2.
Who again? Sevilla 1-0. Now it's right now.
Now go
Betis 5-0.
Go the game.
We are not too poor.
Go the game before the Sevilla game.
Okay. The big teams in La Liga, we are beating them.
The game before the Bilbao game, Abi.
The game before the Sevilla game
is 1-0.
That was Mallorca.
Go there. Let's see the lineup. What did you play?
2-2.
Go, let's see the lineup.
The lineup, we have the lineup here.
Okay. I still just believe it's the injury crisis that cost us. Do you know that?
Now
injury now.
Okay, just imagine.
Rafinha.
Ferran Torres.
What is? Let's go there. No, we'll get there.
You have Joao Felix,
Ferran Torres, Rafinha, Gavi, Romeo, Gundogan, Balde.
Mallorca beat Madrid last season 1-0.
No, that's not an excuse. You should be beating teams like this.
No, but we did not
You
lose.
should be beating
Bro,
teams like this.
bro, I want to
We
know
did not
something.
lose, bro.
Which means the thing is, most of you Barcelona fans, you have to beat out to that. When you get to Europe, you can do well in Europe. For now.
No.
I don't care if you beat a Royal Antwerp 10-0.
No. I will stand to dispute that.
A real Betis will beat Royal Antwerp 4-0.
I will stand to dispute that.
Comfortably.
You know why?
I
will stand to dispute that. You know why? I will stand to dispute that. You know why?
You guys will struggle in Europe. Do you know that? What's your expectation for this season Champions League?
Me, I believe we are going to surpass round of 16.
Baba, me at the target semi-final.
No, that's now I say we go surpass round of 16.
They even get you good.
We surpass round of 16.
You okay? Now go jump for round of 16.
We go surpass am. We go cross am.
I know you. Since I know you. Now the first time you talk truth about
When they talk to this one they raise the expectation too much.
Baba, see, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
He will pass quarter-final and quarter-final. He will pass this one quarter-final now.
This thing you are saying with Barcelona is very normal for any football team. See, it's not easy for you to keep signing players on free transfer. You understand?
Free transfer.
We are just Barcelona are just lucky that we have a manager that understands the game of football, and he has the love for the game. You understand? He has the love for the team. You understand? There are lots of teams that are always signing free transfer players, and it's not ending well.
Definitely.
Because I believe so far so good. Not many teams in Europe can do what Barcelona are doing right now. Even with the injury situations, with the financial crisis, with signing players on free transfers. Not a lot of teams.
Bar Madrid, there is no player on earth Barcelona would call and he would turn them down.
Of course.
Yes, Bar Madrid.
Yeah.
I forgot
with that reputation.
With the reputation,
a lot of players turned us down last season. Ruben Neves turned us down. Mahrez, we're supposed to carry Mahrez.
That was not good negotiation by Ruben Neves agents. And
Laporta made it official now. Laporta made it official.
The thing is, you guys need the
Barcelona has that pool. You have that pool. You have that reputation.
And recently, Barcelona are looking for players that will give them pay cuts.
Bro,
most players are not ready to take
any player.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Football has come to a point whereby those players you are seeing now, they are not playing for maybe your team has one.
They are playing for money, bro.
They are playing for money. Okay, bro.
Chelsea.
Bro, if I go to Saudi Arabia, I've been a job boy. I get responsibility. They won't sign me for Saudi. They want to give me 300,000 per week. You can't come say you be Barca. You can't talk say make I pay now 50,000 you get to.
I want to ask you. Joao Felix is taking a pay cut. He does not play for money?
He does not play for money.
I want to ask you. No, I'm asking.
He plays for money.
Bro, why did he take pay cut when Saudi?
The reason he took a pay cut was that he right now he has no options. And you understand?
Felix has no options.
No, right now, he has no options. And two, Barcelona were very free. And Barcelona has always been his challenge. You understand?
Listen.
But at that particular point in time, he has no option. He just has to go somewhere.
Listen, for a club like Barca, there are many players who would take that pay cut.
Definitely.
Because it's their dream.
It's their dream to play.
I don't know if you get.
To play.
Aubameyang, for example, was one perfect example. His dream has always to play for.
No, Aubameyang was having issue with Arteta.
No, either for Barca. No, I'm getting somewhere.
Okay.
Either for Barca or for Madrid. You wanted to play for one of the European giants. That was why when he went to Barca, he was all over the moon. And the case of Joao Felix also. You can't tell me Joao Felix was free.
And
in the transfer window, West Saudi was going wide.
Let me say something. You know, we have to understand that we have reached the new generation of football. Most players right now are new school footballers. They grew up watching Barcelona in their prime.
Exactly.
Most of the players we have now are players born in the year 2000. Players who are in the market right now.
They watch
Ronaldinho, they watch Messi,
David Villa,
and Mbappe also was watching Cristiano Ronaldo while growing up. Jota was watching. They idolize Cristiano Ronaldo. So many of these players they watch Barcelona while Barcelona were in their prime. They
It's
watched
not our
Barcelona
fault for
growing up.
being big.
Bro,
It's not our fault
No,
for being
no,
big.
no, no, no.
When you're big, man.
Bro, should I explain something? Should I explain something? You growing up, you having this dream that you want to be a professional footballer or this or that or this or that. You can say it. You can have this passion that you want to be a professional footballer for two things. Two things might be involved. Is either for the money,
or for
the passion.
No,
you understand?
no.
Is either for the money
No.
or for the passion.
I am going to dispute that. There is no work in the whole world, even if you have passion. As far as
The tail end of everything comes down to money.
profession, you call it profession. You need capital. At the end of everything, you are chasing capital.
Heytrip,
I have never seen someone in the whole
tail end
world.
of your passion is to earn money.
Is to earn money.
Yes.
Why is Lionel
I don't know if you get
Messi?
it.
Why is Lionel Messi play
Yes.
pro bono?
The tail end of your
Yes.
passion.
Lionel Messi
Yes,
supposed to play
everybody-
pro bono. You know,
But-
every get passion for football now. He not supposed to collect back.
Back in the days,
Yeah.
back in the days, things are not like this.
Everybody's always playing for money back
I
in
can say
the
it's
days.
OI. Things actually changed within, let me say, 1.5 years ago till around, let's say 2 years now.
Yes.
Things has really changed
No, you
about
can-
this football. You
Baba,
understand?
you feel-
Because
you feel
when
us-
Saudi League came, actually a lot of footballers' eyes were really open. Even right now, I even heard the news that was day before yesterday that okay, I think Kevin De Bruyne, Nesri wants to analyze the deal, their plan to Kevin De Bruyne and everything. Kevin De Bruyne right now is in his prime.
Yes.
He's a player that everything wants in Europe. And don't be surprised, guys, if you see Kevin De Bruyne ending up in Saudi Arabia all because of the money.
How about Mahrez?
Mo Salah is still on point. But right now, as things are looking, as everything is right now, everybody believes that by next season, maybe Mo Salah will be playing for Saudi League. Before, it's not like that. Nobody wants to play for a league that you will not be seen. Everybody wants to play for a big team. But right now, everybody wants to make the money.
Remind you.
Baba, now this time, money just.
How much did Saudi offer Mbappe? How much did Saudi
300 million. And
he turned them down, true or false?
no, and
Okay.
these people offered him more.
Okay, let me ask you.
PSG offered him more.
no.
PSG are gonna pay him 60 million euro for, I think they promised him 160 million.
Let me break Mbappe sit down.
in
They
adults.
gave Mbappe to play for a year and go back to Madrid for free.
For free.
1 billion.
For 1 billion.
For
yeah.
a billion.
You know the thing about
A billion.
yeah. You see the thing about
Mbappe don't get back. Maybe they gon' give me that deal.
Wallahi, Ronaldo and Messi don't play.
I'm gonna shout alhamdulillah.
As Arsenal no sabi play, Richie they give me that deal. I go collect am.
I'm gonna shout alhamdulillah.
you even see wetin me I reason about most of these players nowadays is not that everybody na like money. Players back in those days too, they do okay now. This Saudi way we dey always talk now. You know why Premier League is regarded the best league in the world?
Yes.
It's because top class managers, top class players are always coming. And why?
Definitely.
They pay huge wages
Because
they get a lot of TV
And
rights.
yes,
Most
publicity also
publicity,
as
Yes,
well.
publicity.
Most
Yes.
Premier League teams are wealthy enough to pay you because
Yes.
they have a lot of TV rights.
Yes.
A Wolverhampton Wanderers can afford to pay you 70, 80,
120.
120. They can afford to pay you that.
Even 200. If they won't pay you 200, they pay afford that.
So,
Yes.
so,
Yes.
so,
They just affect
now
everyone.
why-
Someone offered Ericsson 200.
so now why we say most people they come Premier League now the turn of Saudi. So right from scratch, everybody they find money for football. Now money they drag people
Yes,
from
now.
football.
Yes.
Right from the scratch.
Now, going back to the case of Barca is many of those players you see who came and took pay cut. It was never a case of they never had option. It was their heart
was
has
set.
been burning for Barcelona. I don't know if you get. That is why I tell you. That is why I made that statement of Bar Madrid. Almost every player's dream is to play for Barcelona. The level of and zeal why I get to play for Barcelona feel different from your own.
Yes,
Before Joao Felix go take pay cut for this current window, guy,
before he even cast
if
out.
the agent put them for Saudi League, you know how much agent.
But you know, see as that guy sabi play ball.
I don't know if you get. Even that Romero, even
But that
Romero
guy na world
who has
class, oh.
do all of that.
That guy is a world class.
Even he can go to Ghana.
Let's not
Now he
mind.
give that pass now.
You know,
Yes, now.
you know the thing about Joao Felix and Joao Cancelo is that two things are involved with these two guys. One is they are set. They have their
Their
heart
heart
set.
set.
Yes.
They have their heart set to play for Barcelona.
Yes.
Number two is they feel that they have an unfinished business in Europe. They want to
Yes.
prove people wrong.
Yes.
There are certain group of people that they like a Joao Felix. He wants to prove a Diego Simeone and the Atletico Madrid president. He wants to prove them wrong that I am that 120 million guy that you brought back in those
But
days.
you guys never know how
You
to
guys
use it.
didn't play me to my potential and all that. There is a Joao Cancelo on the other hand who wants to prove a Pep Guardiola
Yes.
wrong that
Yeah.
oh guy
I am more than
you
you.
lost the gem.
Yes.
So they have
Cancelo with those passes.
so they have this thing
I love that guy.
burning in their belly.
I love that guy
But
so much.
We'll come back to that Barcelona.
Okay.
Tottenham. Tottenham, I want that topic.
They are Yodogu right now.
When I saw them defeat Fulham, I think that was on Monday. I was like, is it time that we take them serious?
We have to take them serious, so definitely. Tottenham is not a hard nut to crack. They are very serious.
They are one of the best teams.
They are the real deal
in Premier League, and they've shown that in Premier League you need to control games.
Yes.
For you to win games. Now there's something they do that I like. Let me highlight it. I'm coming.
Okay.
For example, this their back four, and this is how they usually line up 4-2-3-1. Now in possession, there's something they do that I enjoy so much. Their number 6, which is Bissouma, drops in here, and then Papesa goes in, and then their fullback comes in here to play as number 8.
Yes, in the pockets.
I don't know if you get from here. Their fullback comes in here to play as number 8. I don't know if you get this. Is Udozi, this is Pedro Paro. Then Bissouma drops deep in between.
So this is the backs.
I don't know if you get playing to the 8th position.
They play like Cancelo.
They are real 8s now at their fullbacks. So it's
Udoji and Pedro Poro.
There is something new in the league, and trust me, you know, we'll reach 2 seasons. You will see other manager adapting and evolving into it. But me, then again, I don't believe they have that squad depth to keep this team going. And then let me remind you, people are forgetting, January is Asian Cup and also AFCON. Within the phase of December, January, that period,
they are losing
Bissouma, Son, Papesa, Heung-min Son, and a couple lots of players. I don't know if you get the only big 6 team that won't be affected by it is Man City and Chelsea. Chelsea will only lose Michael Jackson.
I think
Liverpool shouldn't be.
We won't lose.
Mo Salah will be going.
Only Mo Salah will be going.
Only Mo Salah will be going. We don't have any.
So I think that period would be.
We don't have any African.
Them. I don't know if you get it to odds them, and then again they don't have that squad depth. That squad depth to keep it going. Because if a Pedro Paro gets injured, you can't bring an Emerson Royal.
I watched him. He looked so lost.
One person that has been happy so far.
I had him in my fantasy. Poor boy.
My takes on him has been Heung-min Son, because last season season before last I told somebody that Heung-min Son is arguably top 3 best finisher in Premier League. That's his best attribute. Take quote me anywhere. That is Heung-min Son's best attribute. Since the time of Pochettino, I've always seen him as a number 9, because that finishing, that's his best attribute.
And that's why he gets a lot of goals when Kane drops.
When Kane drops, during the time of Mourinho, there was this thing of Kane dropping in as the 10, he comes in as the striker, all of that and all of that.
So that guy is always spot on. No bad game.
That's son, Abi.
Yeah,
no bad game.
They formed a formidable.
I love that guy.
I don't know if you get so far. It's been going well for them, and what Ange is doing, trust me, it's exceptionally beautiful for a manager. Your first season, and you're already
and this man has in a league that has Pep Guardiola, Klopp, De Zerbi, Mikel Arteta, the Ten Hag, all these world-class managers. This man has won 2 back-to-back manager of the month. He won it for the month of September. He won it for the month of August.
I'm sorry to say, guys. You know, there's this popular adage that says you can't feel the same thing
the same way. Yeah,
for you, bro. I don't care if anybody comes for me. I'm not convinced. I believe Tottenham, they're just, their sports are just.
How about
Baba? I feel better when season go end. They don't feel they want to kill you.
I said it during the last episode.
They don't feel they want to kill you.
But what if the manager comes with maybe as his coming?
They don't have the squad depth.
Maybe as his coming, he came with his own pattern of play and new tactics. Because if you see all these people playing in Tottenham right now, they have been playing for Tottenham before, and they haven't, like even majority of them, just some few that just come to join them recently. What I'm saying is, last season Tottenham were poor with this majority of those players that are playing now. But now, just see it. You should know Antonio Conte was the problem.
Conte was not the problem. Let
might be the problem because it's clear.
Let me get you somewhere.
It's clear. I can say.
What episode did I make that statement about team style of play, team identity, and hiring your manager and all of that?
That was the second episode.
I forgot it. But
I remember.
During the time of Pochettino, there was this Tottenham that plays like this current Brighton. High press, wants to control the game. They had the likes of Musa Dembele, Wayama, Sissoko, physicality, and all of that. Now, moving from there, you brought in Nuno Espirito de Santos, who was not tallying with that identity. He struggled. Now, after then, you brought in Jose Mourinho, one king of pragmatism. And one thing I have always been saying, and I've seen all over the world, is pragmatism is not a sustainable system in football. It might work for you for a season, but after which you would have to go back to who you are. Now, Jose Mourinho struggled. He left. Then you brought in an Antonio Conte, who is the king and godfather of pragmatic football. I don't know if you get. And he went out to the media and started lashing everybody. Now you brought in an Ange who has that DNA. That is why I said most times coaches is not about hiring a big name. It's what suits your style. Barcelona, for example, when we lost Luis Enrique, we brought in Kiki Setien, we brought in Ernesto Valverde. They are good managers. Don't get me wrong. But they don't suit the club DNA.
When they brought Xavi, they never plan of changing him. The brand of football. And Xavi is even playing well.
I don't know if you get. Xavi is not a big name in world football. Tactically, he's not a big name in world football.
I'm sorry to say now, something will be like laughing. You don't talk Barca fan now.
Me no.
I don't say when I bring fans.
From Arsenal to Barca, there is something called your first love. You can never forget your first love. So come in.
If Prosper's girlfriend is watching this, you need to be careful of this.
When Ange came into the Tottenham thing, he saw I can't continue with Hugo Lloris. He brought in a Vicario. He wanted to go get a Raya. He brought in a Vicario. Then he brought in one good centre back right now. Van de Ven. Then all of that. He came in. He brought Pedro Paro was there from last season. He permanent deal. He brought in Udozi. They brought Udozi, but he was on loan. They brought Udozi and he brought in Papisar from the ranks. He brought in Madison, who has been exceptional so far. I don't know if
one of the signings of the season.
The deadwoods in the team, the likes of Eric Dyer, the likes of the and he told them, guys, you don't fit my system right now. You need to go. I don't know if you need to go. These are the guys I want to play.
They don't come out.
They are still in the team.
They are still in the team, but they don't play.
They know they play.
All those Perisic.
They are just the fight with fans.
They don't turn second fiddle guys.
They are just the fight with fans.
So far now, he knew he had a plan that fits the club's identity and he executed that plan. He got the crops of player that suits that plan, and so far they've been doing well, not taking anything away from him. But personally, I feel they don't have that squad depth that will take them that far for the journey they want to embark on, because they are not in European competition. That is one advantage to them, but they are also in the League Cup. That's where you have to rotate between your squad.
And the good thing for them is that they've already been knocked out of
one of the
Carabao Cup already.
So they will have a lot of time to focus.
They don't have that squad depth.
Their spooky part of their game has been their build-up. If you watch them against Sheffield, that was where Sheffield hurt them. Their build-up is a bit shaky. So if you could intercept that build-up, break them, press them so bad, you would get something out of them. So I feel like they might look like the Rigi, but in the long run they will start.
But do you know a lot of coaches and teams will have tried all these things that they haven't succeeded because they played over 9 teams.
But my own perspective, no matter how well they try, they won't get lots less than.
The thing is,
they might still go to Champions League this season.
The funny opinion that I have about them is, I think if you want to beat a Spurs, they are starting 11. If you want to defeat them, don't just go for this tactical thing. There are sometimes that
you need a man-to-man
marking, and sometimes you play this mental game of chess with them. So there is something about this Tottenham. They have this attitude issue. I don't know, maybe you guys are observed.
Yes.
They have some players in the squad that they can't control their emotions.
Richarlison.
A player like Richarlison, Christian Romero, a player like Bissouma. Eric Dyer is not even their starting lineup recently. That's part of their problem as well. But he's not in starting lineup recently.
Yes.
I'm talking about these guys in the starting lineup: Richarlison, Romero, Bissouma. All these guys, they can lose their head when things are not going their way. So if you are going to beat a Spurs, you can play this mind game with them, frustrate them very well. If you frustrate them very well, they have players that are not disciplined, that they don't have this mental resilience.
Do you mean frustrate them in the aspect of tackling them very hard or giving them emotional
football? Abuse them.
Throwing words at them. When you start talking to them, you throw words at
exactly.
them, insult them,
bully them. God bless you. They lose their head.
You get into their head.
Yes.
They lose their head. That way you win them at one point. But then again, I feel like it's something they should work on with time. But it's just they are fortunate enough not to be in an era where you have this prime Jose Mourinho, this king of dark art football, who would instigate his player to get into your player.
Exactly.
Romero Richarlison commission, 2-man down.
Exactly.
I don't know how good you are. That's going to lag a lot on the field.
Exactly.
Imagine someone whispering to Richarlison here that I'm going to sleep with your sister.
So
definitely that will take him out of the game.
I'm going to kill you after this match. I'm going to shoot you.
There are some words you can't use. You can easily tell him you are the worst striker in the league. You have nothing on me.
You
see those kind of words get into their heads.
Exactly.
I don't know if you get.
Or you play like you are from the A planet.
I'm richer than you, Seb. Exactly.
I'm richer than you. Neymar used that one against a player in the league.
Yes, I'm richer than you.
You son of a poor parent.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what Neymar said? Neymar said, what they are paying me for a year. What they are paying me for a year is he said what they are paying you for a year is what I earn in a week.
In a day, I mean a week. Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like it's something teams can capitalize on. But then again, currently the Premier League has this nice set of managers who are not about dark art and all of that. So teams would capitalize on it. But if it was the era of dark art football,
but the question is, have they actually done something that will make us think that's how they are?
Those players are.
I know Richarlison is arrogant.
Those players in question are very arrogant,
especially when things are not going well for him.
Christian Romero is a very decent defender, but he loses his head. When he loses his head, you feel like why did you do that?
Some stupid challenge and things he goes into.
It does.
You see, one thing I've observed.
You question Romero like why you do
Argentine defenders here, they have this attitude issue. Marcos Rojo at Man United.
Lisandro Martinez example too.
And now again, Coutinho Romero. I don't know if you get a few of them has that gene in them that they lose their head and go into reckless tackle. So once you get into his head, he can go into reckless tackle and all that. But then again, you never can tell. They are just lucky to be in an era of no dark art football. So everybody just wants to pass around.
Apart from that, Tottenham are playing good football. Let's not lie. Tottenham are winning. Tottenham are winning, and they are winning and they deserve what they are winning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I admit that they are playing good football. What I'm saying is that when teams cannot nullify them tactically, then you switch to the dark side of football. To nullify their threats. Definitely, if you're going to pick out a Richarlison, a Romero out of their team, they are 2-man down.
But actually, I don't think maybe it's my mindset or maybe it's how I think or how I see things. I'm this kind of person whereby what happens at the beginning of the season, I don't get carried away. You understand? Yes. That's why I said something the other time. I said actually, I'm not convinced. I'm not impressed. You understand? Because I believe one thing. There's this kind of mentality when a season is about to start. The kind of mentality we are bringing into the game, into the matches. Everybody are physically fit. Everybody are anxious to get on the field. You've got a lot of new signings that they want to prove themselves to the fans that I can do this, I can do that. There's a lot of players that are being condemned by the team and they are ready to prove themselves within the new season. So all those things do contribute when you are going into a new season. But to my own perspective, actually I don't see Spurs as a title contender. I don't see them as
even last week when we did our top 4 list.
I believe they are still going to come down.
Yeah, when we did our top 4 list, I predicted them to finish outside top 4.
They may come down. They may come down.
For what they are doing.
I didn't see them for top 4.
For what they are doing and where they are coming from.
I don't think them for top 4.
I believe as time goes on, they will get tired.
After 9 games, is a lot of games too.
29 games more to go.
I know, but after 9 games, is a lot of games. Because playing 9 games and not losing one. it's still a lot of games.
It's something beautiful for them.
For them,
That means if they are losing and drawing,
But the
right?
question is that is this going
they won't
is
be
this
sustainable.
is this form can they have this form till the ending of this year?
And they've proved themselves now. They
Let's
played
see.
bigger teams.
Let's see,
than
fingers
they won.
crossed.
Let's cross our fingers.
Fingers crossed for that one.
Let's hope
So you
for the
understand?
best.
They've played bigger teams that they won.
Well,
So we never can tell now.
Bar
They've
United,
proved
which
themselves.
big team have they won?
Liverpool.
They won Liverpool.
They won Liverpool. They drew Arsenal. They won United.
I thought they beat Man City now.
So that no, they haven't played City.
They haven't played.
They haven't played
I
City.
thought you said Man United. Tottenham.
They defeated Man United. They defeated Liverpool. They drew Arsenal. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
For a team like Tottenham.
They
Guys,
tried.
I want to ask you a funny question. I've been meaning to laugh.
Okay.
If you are to switch your appearance with any footballer, which footballer are you going to switch?
Babashe na by fine or make I just my favorite footballer.
No, not your favorite footballer.
appearance.
Your appearance. If you are to switch your appearance to any footballer, which footballer? Like, I want to look like this guy.
Na player wey no popular. I would like to look like Ampadu.
It's an Ampadu.
Yes.
It's an Ampadu. That
Fine.
Chelsea guy. Okay, let's go to Prosper.
It's between two people.
No, just give us
It's
one.
between Sani and Dybala.
No,
so
just
I'm
give
having a tough pick between them, but I would go for Paulo Dybala.
What about Eloquent?
Let's not lie. I like Jude Bellingham's stature. I like his face. It's so cute.
Ampadu is looking good.
I wish to look like him.
That's it.
I swear, I wish to look like Bellingham.
You want to look like Bellingham with this your head?
Ampadu, make I just clean. Maybe when Ampadu is watching this actually, you feel invite me call UK.
I understand. Bellingham, I'm coming to the Spain, okay?
Just be like you soft.
The best way I want look like don't even retire. Rooney.
Ronaldo go abuse you, tire.
I won't look like Rooney. So,
Bellingham.
to you, who is the most underrated footballer of this present day? This
Current or past?
Currently, who is the underrated?
For me, is Angel Di Maria.
Angel Di Maria.
Because I've seen him in several big games turning up, taking the game on himself. I could remember, if you remember Barca, the greatest comeback of all time in Champions League. Barca PSG, he was the one that destroyed Barca first leg.
Yeah.
The second leg, things went south due to Then Copa America, the Copa America Messi won. He was instrumental to it in the final. That final less he was the one again, and then even World Cup final, he was the one. I just feel like when people talk about the top 5 or top 10 greatest player of this generation, Di Maria, they don't mention Di Maria. I don't know if you get, but this guy has been consistently up there. Big games, he has been there. He has many people. You see, one thing is many people judging due to his time at United.
An injury.
I don't know if you get his time at United was another thing that people used to.
He's injury prone.
Plaster that stigma at him because there's this general ideology in football that if you don't do it for Premier League and you don't mess where you be flop. But it's not actually about you being a flop.
No.
If you can perform at the highest level, that's okay by me. So for me, I feel it's Angel Di Maria.
And even right now, back at Benfica, you still doing
He's still doing it exactly at
very well.
Benfica.
So who are you picking as your?
Actually, there's this player I've been looking up to for so long. You might call him mid, but I think that he actually deserves his flowers. I will go for Willian. Willian actually deserves his flowers. Talking about what he has done in the past when he was at Chelsea, he actually did a lot of things. But I want you to know something. There's this kind of pressure of when you play for a big team, you might be good, and your ability, when you play for a big team actually deserves a lot. And when presently, what Willian is doing for Fulham, is actually beyond expectation. Right now, he's one of their main man, and I believe he deserves his flowers.
What I think about this Willian is, I think the world is moving away from all this orthodox winger of a team. Willian is this guy who is very good as an orthodox winger. He can play on the wing that is the same thing as with his strong foot.
Yes.
Like he's a right winger.
Yes.
And he's so very good with his right foot. Playing from that right wing, getting the ball to the bar line, putting in a very wonderful cross. Player like Antonio Valencia.
Yes.
I think the world is moving away from those kind of wingers.
but
People now want
actually,
someone that can come from that can invert, someone that can play like an inside forward. Someone that can flexible.
I get his point.
But I'm trying to say,
I get his point where he's coming from. I get the point.
I don't know why.
You can't actually you can't compare. I'm sorry to say, DFK Kenny. You made mention of Anthony Valencia. Looking at Anthony Valencia and looking at the way Willian plays, I want you to know that there's this kind of difference, in the playing style.
Okay.
Willian is this kind of player.
Those one leg player, one corner player. Once they are with the ball, you know what they want. You know their direction.
Anthony Valencia is always moving. Is always moving at the right line. You know,
one direction.
You can't just. I can't just.
They are predictable.
And that is where, to me, Willian is like a precious stone.
No,
than this flower.
You see about Willian.
You need this flower.
Most of players who play that system, that kind of style of play, most of these days we now see teams converting them to either wing back or a full back.
Victor Moses,
Cuadrado, Ashley Young. Players, even at Valencia, before he left, he was turned to a fullback.
But still,
Willian
still they deliver now.
A Willian, you can actually turn a Willian into a wing back.
Yeah,
a Willian can definitely survive. He has that agility. God bless you.
To sustain that wing back position. Now let me tell you the point is coming from.
Okay.
If you are saying Chelsea's best wingers of all time, you hear Drogba, you hear Hazard, this, that. Their best attackers of all time, you hear Drogba, this, that. Nobody puts William in that conversation. Now that comes to the play of playing in a team at that moment with Eden Hazard. I don't know if you get. That was one reason why Pedro never got much of his accolades. I don't know if you get, because Pedro is one other underrated player of this generation. But then again, you can't have a main man in your team, a star man in your team, and you be the spotlight.
Exactly.
I don't know if that was what affected Suarez with Messi. That was what affected Benzema and all of that. And all of that. So I felt like I understand the point he's coming from. But you now saying another thing is, his current style of play, his current profile is not appreciated in the modern day. I don't know if you get tactically and versatile is not
there.
I don't know if you get. If you have that kind of winger in a modern day league, it would be in a team like Burnley. No disrespect to Burnley.
Actually, you see they deliver now.
He would deliver in a team like Fulham. You know, it's a Fulham team. He can deliver in a Fulham team. Okay. As a big team, can you bank it that you want a Willian in your team? When Willian
was still in his prime, actually, he's a very good player.
Yeah,
I'm telling you this.
He was a good player.
He's a decent player. But
there's this kind of thing about Chelsea. You know, if you are a player that is not well mentally stabilized, it's very possible for you to fail at Chelsea. Definitely. So actually, that was what affected the guy.
The pressure at that, I said one thing. Right now, the pressure at that environment is too much.
It's too much.
Even on the young players, is affecting many of the young players they've brought. One of the episodes where I mentioned environment matters in football.
And,
I don't know if you get.
And this guy also buttressed the point. Thiago Silva, he said they are recruiting too many players. That we are too plenty in the dressing room.
And that problem with Chelsea.
It is very hard for us to harmonize the dressing room right now.
It will create a lot of cartels. You can't have one.
I don't watch Chelsea match one day. I don't forget Fofana.
Yeah.
I don't forget say Fofana dead here.
Na true to Fofana na.
I don't forget say Nkuku dead here.
They get striker.
They get Chukwemeka. They get all these Yahoo boys. Romeo Lavia still dead there. Chaloba still dead.
So the crop of players at Chelsea are too much that you can't have one.
Baba, I need they sign one Chelsea player. Pochettino they talk say who be that?
Yeah,
Malasa. Let's not lie. Todd Boehly is more of a merchant than a club owner.
So who is your underrated footballer?
Mr. Ozil.
No, Ozil has retired.
I thought he said generally. Currently, let's not go far. I still think. Let me think well. Because someone like Mbemo I've been seeing that Mbeumo recently, week in, week out. But I don't know why people are not talking about that guy. That guy is performing at the team where he plays.
He's always on point.
He's always on point. Probably maybe he's not playing for.
Maybe he's playing.
Maybe because he's not playing for a big team.
Mbeumo is so underrated.
No,
he's very,
and he's a dangerous attacker.
There's nothing about football. No matter how good you are, if you are playing for a small
team,
it's
no,
very
they won't
possible
recognize
you.
Yes.
You won't be given your flowers.
Because it's a very dangerous. Let's not lie. Mbeumo is more dangerous than as I am scared of Mbeumo to Rashford.
Baba, when supposed like they play for Leipzig,
I am 100% scared of Mbeumo to Rashford. Yes. Let me tell you why.
On the platter of United fans.
Mbeumo is so consistent than Rashford.
I stand with him.
Mbeumo is so consistent to Rashford.
I stand with him.
I prefer Mbeumo to Rashford.
Baba, I swear to God.
That guy is underrated. Mbeumo is going.
No, Mbeumo is going. Now Eloquent
bodyguard. I did with him.
So you get Mbeumo is always proving himself in every matches. He doesn't lose passes, doesn't lose possession just like this Rashford.
Yes.
Look at this Rashford. Rashford can't even give a clear pass. I watched this match yesterday, which day on against Copenhagen. That guy was supposed to score a very clear-cut chance and he missed it. He missed it. Not just one, He has been missing chances.
Nobody's above missing.
He's a tournament player, bro. Rashford is a tournament player.
You don't carry tournament.
No, he's just a tournament player. He's a season player. I prefer Mbeumo to Rashford.
Mbeumo, me say prefer him.
Mbeumo give me what I want. What I want than Rashford. Rashford is just media publicity.
Man U fans are better.
It is media. Man U fans. I prefer Mbeumo to Rashford.
We second the motion.
We and who?
I am repping you guys. I am repping you guys. Don't make me talk
I prefer Mbeumo to Rashford.
For me, my most underrated player of this current day, I think I'll go for a Bernardo Silva. He doesn't get his flowers enough. He doesn't get. I think this guy is so tactically versatile, and I see people talking about Haaland, KDB,
Rodri.
Nobody
talking about him.
Probably maybe because he's short. I don't know. Maybe because the way the guy is short. Nobody, they always talk about Bernardo. And to Pep Guardiola, Bernardo is a very, very important
and
piece.
one of the best ball retention players.
It's very hard to get the ball off him.
A lot of fans, a lot of people who watch football nowadays, like what you said the other time. Some people are this kind of people that don't know about this football.
Yes.
They are not learned about it.
Now, they make them watch
They just want to gamble.
Yeah,
So
they
what they want
gamble.
to see, what some people idea of a good player is someone who scores.
Scores, yes.
They don't care or bother about who retains.
Baba, they don't care. Baba, person do the assist. They don't care.
They don't care. They just want to score. Magui, that last match he scored. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine they even forgot Inigo Martinez that made the pre-assist. They forgot Inigo Martinez. It was
the best player
that day.
Yes.
It was Inigo's pass that made.
Because we don't score like this.
One of the episodes, if you remember,
it's not just us. It's the fans. It's the fans. Most football fans.
They don't know what to do. They don't
care about tactics.
There are people who watch football. I said it that day. There are people who watch football through a different lens, and there are people who are reactionary. And those reactionary set of people, majority of them started watching football because of betting. So what they're after is waiting. You fit give me your goal and assist. Who score? Today you good. I don't know if you get, but for someone who watch the game from a different lens, you would understand that it's not really about goal and assist. Most times you are having a conversation with somebody and you tell somebody that Toni Kroos is one of the most underrated players of this generation and tell you how many goals they score a season.
And you be like,
football don't talk to goals now.
That is why.
Baba, no matter how good you are,
yes,
you don't go get vegetable doctors of flower.
That is why. You don't get good. That's why I always be hitting a nail on the head on this Jude Bellingham. When Jude Bellingham would stop scoring, you would see many agendas
against him. I was about to talk about that Jude Bellingham. Right now, if you ask people that between Jude Bellingham and Musiala, who would you pick? I'm very certain. Net 6% will pick go on Jude.
The same people.
And Musiala is not a bad player in the Bundesliga. He's those numbers.
The same people that were calling Haaland world best, he deserves the Ballon d'Or.
And you're not saying that he's going quiet. He's hosting the big games.
Even actually, as I'm speaking with you right now, Musiala is considering going to either Man City or Madrid because he was looking now. Right now, he's looking at himself like, well, I think the chance of winning a Ballon d'Or or the chance of the major trophy is getting more tiny. So I even heard these updates that he's planning on going to Man City or Madrid.
If he had come to Barca, it would have been nice.
Now, if you remember, the same United fans who were shouting Rashford for Ballon d'Or last season are the same one now calling for his head to be on the bench this season. That is football for you. Football. They don't care what you've done.
They celebrate Maguire yesterday now.
What you have done now.
I saw it. During the midweek, during the Champions League match, during the week, I saw Maguire's name being chanted at Old Trafford. I was watching the Champions League game during the midweek, and I was like, oh, Maguire's name can be chanted at Old Trafford.
It's funny how
the valiant of yesterday is now the hero of today.
Yes,
it was also a beautiful story like the one of Granit Xhaka. A few years ago, he was the most wanted man in North London. The fans, him and fans, they face this thing like that. But when things turned around last season, his names was all over everywhere. They were singing his praises and all of that. Even the first game, when the fans were singing Zinchenko, he told Zinchenko, I've been here for 5 years and I don't even have a chance. You are lucky to be here. Guys, that is how football fans be. The 2 games later, he started everybody, Granit Xhaka, we got Granit Xhaka, we got and all of that. So that's how football can be. That's how funny football is.
And there is a question here, and someone, one of the fans watching the podcast actually sent in the question that we should deliberate on it. And the question is, which country needs to win the next World Cup the most?
Actually, I think, let me say with...
you really feel that they really need to win that World Cup?
England really need to win the World Cup
because of their golden generation.
Yes, because of their golden generation. If they don't win the World Cup right now, these golden generations are going to waste.
They
really need to win the World Cup.
How about you?
To me, I believe Belgium should win this World Cup.
But the
2026 World Cup.
The 2026 World Cup, I believe Belgium should contain because
but Belgium golden generation has gone. They don't have those golden again.
You see. Despite the fact that the golden generation has gone or is gone, the problem is they have these blueprints like we have been deliberating on. They don't
have those players again.
And yes, they don't have those players.
Belgium is a big team.
They wasted their best moment.
Belgium, the bitter truth is, Belgium cannot contend for the FIFA World Cup again. They wasted that golden generation. It was wasted back in 2018.
They had it.
There was a point that Belgium were top of the FIFA standing. They didn't have
Vincent Kompany,
Fellaini, Carrasco, Chadli, Lukaku.
Actually, to my own point of view again, I think Portugal also they need to utilize.
That was the name I was about to mention.
How about Brazil?
Brazil no.
I know say they don't play.
For me, I feel
this generation that Brazil.
For me, I feel it's half now. Brazil.
So you are
Brazil have so much.
Who are you picking?
I'm picking
Portugal.
But the current young talent they have and the current set of squad they have, I feel like they deserve it and they need to
make use of it.
There should not be another story of Belgium that like we are having now. The golden generation wasted. You now have Rafael Leao, João Felix, Ramos and Joaquin. And all of that.
I think the next World Cup final. I think the next World Cup final. I would like to see a Portugal-England final.
I think I will have to go with.
And funny enough, let me bust there. Funny enough, the same man that wasted the Belgian golden generation
is the one with Portugal right now. I hope it's not.
Let's see how it goes.
So I think for me, I will have to go with Heytrip. I will go for England as well. I expect them. They have this pool of talent.
To win it.
When you think about it, they have this abundance in every position on the pitch. A right back, left back, centre back, everywhere on the pitch.
Even everyone they get like 3-3 for each position. Like 5-5.
The only place where I think that they are a little bit fragile is that centre forward row. If you take Harry Kane out of the team, we can only think about the Watkins or
Ivan Toney. They have Ivan Toney.
So they are so blessed. So I don't see a reason why they won't do that. And another question I have here is, someone asks, who is the most hated footballer of all time? Hated. They hate this footballer so very much.
Can we say hated based on his personality or based on his performance?
Hated. You know, fans really hate this guy. Fans, players, everybody, they just hate this guy.
Actually, I'll go for Balotelli.
Balotelli.
Wow.
Indisciplined.
Wow,
Yes.
that's a
I'll
very
go
good
for
one.
Balotelli.
That's a very
Because,
good one. Who are you going for?
I'm still thinking. I will go for Balotelli, though, but who will I go for?
But
Because if
Yes.
Balotelli is a very good mention.
I can't talk. I can't talk for the fans, but there are some few players I don't really like, based on their personalities. I like Bruno Fernandes for how he plays,
Yes.
but I don't like
It's
his
one name.
personality.
Now, it's one name I want to mention. Now, let me back
I don't
you
like
up.
his
Let me back
personality.
you up. I will call one of his teammates. Let me back you up. You see, the thing with Bruno is he's a fine player.
Yeah.
Sure, yes.
He's a very good player, and I believe he can do better than what he's doing currently. But it's difficult to see a non-United fan that loves Bruno
You get it?
because of his personality.
Because of his personality.
I don't know if you
Right.
get. It's difficult to see a non-United fan.
Actually, I always see Bruno as a player that always want to outshine everybody.
So
Yes.
everybody has that
He
little
wants to
bit.
be the defender. He wants to be the midfielder.
In
As long as you are a non-United fan, you have that little bit.
In as much
something to
as I love Bruno very well, the thing I question his captaincy sometimes, because I expect you to exhibit the characteristics of a
Yes.
leader on the pitch.
Bro, to me-
Sometimes when the game is going against them,
to me, I believe
he mows a lot.
You lose his head.
Yeah,
You lose his head.
I believe Bruno's captaincy is something he actually lobbied for.
Yes.
He actually dreamt, lobbied, played.
Struggled.
He's always murmuring on the field. Actually, I don't like his personality.
Always
He's a very
feeling
good
pain.
player. Always feeling pain. Always feeling like I'm the only one that knows how to do this.
Like a sadist.
Even when he makes a mistake, he doesn't like people correcting him. He sees himself as the boss. He's just the kind of player I don't want in my team.
I don't like him. honestly.
The player I would say
I've
is
not even-
Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz, yeah, they slander.
Kai Havertz gets.
How person no go hate Kai Havertz?
Kai Havertz gets haters. If you say that guy know the
Person
number
when
of
they
people
go
wey
play
hate am
preseason for Australia, when they score, when they do game, when they score just one like this. Yes, for Australia for preseason now. For USA,
Yeah.
when we say that he no score one game, when we say that they always do every season. He no score one like this.
Challenge. Now, for me, the most hated footballer is brother Harry Maguire. I feel like for me personally, Maguire is better than what people think he is.
Yeah.
But due to his I felt that pressure came from the captain armband, because since he lost the captain armband, Maguire has been excellent.
Yeah.
Due to those times, he was the scapegoat of the team. He was the laughing stock. Everybody was Maguire. Once you see the game against Arsenal, once Maguire was coming on, the entire Arsenal fan boy were clapping. Even me myself, I was clapping, because they knew we don't win this game.
They don't
I don't know if you get. But for me,
before.
I feel like Maguire is actually better than what people think he is, because
Definitely.
I watched him at Leicester when he came to United earlier. He was doing well and all of that. So I feel like Maguire is.
But all time, when it comes to discipline and a lot of atrocities Mario Balotelli have caused, I will go for Mario Balotelli is the all-time hated
He's a
player.
gangster.
He's a gangster.
Gattuso.
And there is this honourable mention, Joe Barton. Honourable mention. You have to talk about those players too.
You know why I didn't mention Joe Barton is because this kind of what that is going on streets, Gen Z.
Gen Z,
Lot of
many
Gen
of
Z.
They don't know Joe
Then
Barton.
another honourable
Yes.
mention for me is Sergio Ramos, the king of dark arts. The king. Once you are playing against a team where Ramos play, the prayer in your mind is make my player no injure. Make me no do my
I'm
player.
also what you do for Salah.
But this thing wey we dey talk, if to say we talk am for Ghanaians here, na Suarez dey hate pass.
That's what I
They hate Suarez, so
Suarez gone.
may we not forget that one. Ghanaians hate Suarez very well. So we have the El Clasico coming up this weekend. I want you guys to give me your predictions for the El Clasico this weekend.
Actually, the game, to my own perspective.
No talk anything wey go against Madrid. You are rocking a Madrid jersey.
I believe goals will be scarce. So let's say under 3.5. I won't go for a win.
Give us your correct score.
My correct score. Let me say 1-1. Yeah.
A 1-1.
Yes.
Okay. For me, I see a 2-1 Madrid victory.
Okay, due to the injury crisis and all that, and Madrid are in good form, still, I still trust Xavi. He's the person who beats Ancelotti more than Ancelotti beats him.
I say 1-1.
So I see a 2-0.
2-0 Barca.
We winning.
Barca 2-0.
We winning. Barca winning.
If Barca win 2-0, next episode I go drink 1 liter of bottled water for you.
Okay.
Next episode, no be
Yeah.
no be next episode. I go drink gin. I will be here no matter what. And
So,
gin, no matter what.
let's go.
Now, for me, due to the injury crisis at Barcelona and everything going on, I expect Madrid to get a result. Probably a draw or a win.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Manchester United versus Man City, the big Manchester derby.
Oh, let me say I'll go for a 2-1. Yes, 2-1. A win for Man City.
Okay. I'm rocking a Man United jersey, but I will have to go against them. I'm sorry, United fans, but I see City winning the game comfortably 3-1.
Okay.
All right, and me too. I won't have to lie about it. Man City is gonna crush Man U. They're gonna destroy Man U. They're gonna kill them.
Yeah, correct score.
As a matter of fact, I think it's gonna end 4-1.
4-1.
Man City to
But
win.
so far, United has not been convincing.
So bad.
But I would go against the odds and I'll go for a United win. A slim victory, 3-2. 3-2 United, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's Chelsea Brentford.
Let me say Chelsea Brentford.
Mbemo.
My lovely Mbemo is going to be there. So to my perspective, I'll go for 2-0. Brentford are going to murder, trash them, do everything.
Okay.
Brentford are winning the match.
I will go for a Chelsea victory. I think they are kind of getting their feet right now. 2-0.
Brentford are going to win the match.
2-0 Chelsea.
With the look of things, Chelsea are winning. But at least they've won their last 3 games and they drew. They've not lost their last 4 games. So, and Brentford too. I think they lost their last game now. It's kind of hard, but let's not argue about it. Chelsea are going to beat Brentford 2-1.
For the sake of, I would have said 3-0 Chelsea, but for the sake of my FPL, 3-1 Chelsea. 3-1 Chelsea.
Brentford
Coming from the Arsenal game and all of that, they would want to give a positive response.
Yeah.
So I expect it.
Me against the world.
So I have a game for you guys.
Okay.
The game is quite simple, a little bit tricky. So you're going to give me names of footballer, past or present, that begins with the letter S. So the thing is, once we finish that letter S, once someone did not get the answer correctly, you have to be fast. Under 3 seconds, you have to give us that S word.
Okay.
So once you cannot give it in under 3 seconds, that means you are out of the game.
Okay.
Then the 2 guys will continue.
Okay.
So once we finish that round, the guy that wins the round will top the table, have 3 points. Okay. Then we'll go to another alphabet. Okay. Then you give us the guy that wins that round will top the table. Okay. You get 3 points.
Bring
as
it
well.
on.
So we'll start. Where do we start, guys? Where will we start? Okay, let's say where we start like this. So past or present players that start with S.
Suso,
Sidorf.
Shevchenko.
Savic,
Sergio Busquets.
Soboslai.
Sergio Roberto.
Solomoni.
Sergio Ramos.
Is that?
Eloquent is out of the game. So
And that Solomon was right actually.
Solomoni.
Eloquent is out of the game. So we'll begin with you.
Okay.
S.
Huh?
S. Players with S.
Savage.
Solomon,
Shevchenko.
Savic.
You don't
It's
judge.
Savic. Which one is Savic? Which one is Savic?
No.
Savage where they play for Atletico.
No, me, I'm talking of the one that played at Lazio.
That one, I'm Milikoko Savage. You're out of the game. So, Heytrip is the winner of the first round.
Okay.
So now we go into the second round.
Okay.
Under 3 seconds, each person will have to give me players that their name starts with letter M. We'll start with Prosper.
Mount,
Mendes.
Mikilenko.
Mendy,
Maradona.
Modric.
Maguire,
Martins.
Mikhailo Modric.
Mertens at
Okay,
Napoli.
Mertens, okay.
Martinelli.
Mandzukic.
Magalhaes,
Maluda.
Makelele.
I know.
Mikel Obi.
Wow.
Michael Essien.
Wow.
He's out.
We know for sure.
So we'll start with Prosper. Okay, M.
Maguire. He's out.
Prosper on 3 points, Heytrip on 3 points. We have Eloquent on 0 points. So
Damn.
we have 2 more rounds to go. So we'll start with Eloquent
Okay.
this time around. Players that their name starts with letter C. letter C. Under 3 seconds, Elo.
Carlos.
Don't even know.
Cocorella.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Prosper out of the game before the game even started. So we go back to C.
Cocorella.
Coman.
Carlos.
Calvin Phillips.
Calvin Phillips is gay, you are out. Calvin Phillips is
Nasio.
gay.
Yo, you see it.
Calvin Phillips is gay, you are out.
What's going on? They out like this.
Calvin Phillips is gay.
We have
Calvin Phillips na Kenny. I think Nasio. Now Calvin.
Now look
Baba check am Calvin yo.
I don't get
Na CEO.
I don't get 6 points.
So
Calvin Louis Nasi.
Heytrip is on 6 points, Prosper on 3 points, and Eloquent on 0 points. So we go for the final round. The final round. Are you ready, guys?
Yeah, alright.
A little bit tricky.
Okay.
Players with letter B. That their name starts with letter B.
Bizuma.
Balotelli.
Bukayo Saka.
Balak.
Bayu.
Bayu.
Na Bayu.
Eloquent is out of the game. Oh my God, see
Nobody gave Bayu.
You know they see Bayu Babi for Man United shirts. Okay, so we go to Prosper and Heytrip.
I don't remember now.
So letter, I'm not going to give you the letter B. I think you guys are getting the letter B. I'm going to give you a tricky letter, and that is letter D. A player that his name starts with letter D.
A player that
his name starts with letter D. Under 3 seconds.
Dida,
Okay.
Didier Drogba. Dejan Lovren.
So we have our winner of the first sub. Bayu, 1% of the reason say Bayu be player. Thank you. This has been a very wonderful episode of the podcast. I really enjoyed myself. We all enjoyed ourselves, and I hope you enjoyed yourself as well. Do us a big favor to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you tap the bell notification icon so that when we drop an episode of the podcast, you'll be the first guy to know that. So from me and my guys, we are signing out on this episode of the podcast, and we are going to see you guys next Friday.